Okay. Um, a lot. That's all I have to say. A lot. Oh. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Sistas. This is season 1, episode 13. And like I said, all I have to say is a lot. It was a lot. We, Tyler gave us a heck of a cliffhanger last week. And we came right back at the same spot. Girlfriend had blew her head off. In the salon, and Karen is just like standing there with blood and guts. And the one hairdresser, I think she's the hairdresser. Is she a hairdresser? She may not be a hair. I think she's a hairdresser. I don't think she's just a receptionist. I think she's a hairdresser as well. But she's standing behind her, and she's just as got just as much blood on her as Karen does. It's all in her hair, and Karen didn't even have none in her hair. It was all in the other girl's hair and stuff. A mess. And Karen was still standing there like she was in shock. And you could see everything started going like a slow motion. Then it was just going and it was all faded out. The way he shot this was perfect. It was perfect. And then the voices were like faded out. And then as everything kind of just like came into focus, Karen went off. She was done. When everything finally clicked as to what had actually happened, she like ran to the sink and she's like in the sink trying to get the shit all off of her. It was the way he shot that was perfect. So that was like cinematic value. I think the best 3 minutes that this show's been on the air, actually. Other than all the scenes we got with old Zach baby over there clowning over at old girl's house. But that's a whole other thing. Don't judge me. Anyway. So yeah, she ended up having to go to the hospital because she was just all out of sorts. So later on they ended up taking her to the hospital. But anyway, let's move on from there. Um Maurice and Sabrina at work. Maurice, what is that outfit? What the hell is that outfit? And I look down, because all his clothes are too little. So I'm like over that. I was like, child, if you don't take that too little shit off. And then you look down, you got these little funny socks on and these high water pants. Girl, if you don't sit your ass down, you got Tyler, you got him looking foolish. Anyway, so they're at their bank. Javier, he introduces Javier. Javier is who they're going to bring in to try to set up this little three-way, this little menage a trois. And it was just kind of like, it was a mess. It was a whole mess. And Sabrina, she's like not really with it, but she really still wants to know. This storyline has pretty much gotten on my nerves. Sabrina's part of it. You know what? I can't even say that. Sabrina and Calvin have gotten on my nerves because I'm about sick of his whole attitude of like he don't know what's going on. Now let's quit. Now stop it, because I know in all your years you ain't just found out that you come across as a little light in your loafers. Like, just stop it. And it's gotten to be too much. It's like it's bordering on stupidity at this point. But anyway, so Javier is going, and that day, and Maurice says to Sabrina, you remember, because she said, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do it. You're going to say, you remember, making the sound of the vibrator. I said, oh, he's so shady. He is so incredibly shady. And then shortly after that, then Calvin comes in. Everything about Calvin screams gay. I'm sorry, it just does. Even his little walk when he went to leave after they talked and he was trying to invite her to dinner and Maurice butts it. It was like, oh no, we're inviting you to dinner. It's going to be me and my friend Javier and you and Sabrina. And we were already, she was going to invite you to dinner anyway. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And when he went on out of there, I said, child, he tipped on out of here. I said, well, strut Miss Lizzie, honey, as he was leaving out. I was like, this is all ridiculous. I'm like over, because, there's certain things in this that have offended me with the way that Tyler wrote it. I'm getting to the point where I'm not even offended. I don't even care. It's just a bunch of BS and whatever. It's just stupid. But anyway, he twisted on out of there. Yeah, I'm just sick of that. But yeah, she even told him, it just seemed like you had more fun than I did. He acted all stupid, like he don't understand what she talking about. Like, really, dude? You had a whole female and male orgasm. You had both. And you don't know what she talking about? You don't know what she talking about? You got two. She gave you a 2-for-1. You turned her into a whole never mind. Anyway, whatever. I'm leaving it alone. This is a PG-13 review. I'm going on. Anyway, moving on. Danny and Zach. So we got a baby over there, and Danny's telling him, you better tell her, and don't be trying to take all long. He's like, I would just want to tell her in my time. Don't be trying to take all long. Then he looks up, and that Pam ends up calling, which is the girl's name at the salon, and tells him some of what went on. And he's like, we're on our way. Child, now this was funny. When they were ready to go, he's like, okay, hold on, let me grab my bike. And Danny was like, grab your bike and do what? And do what? What am I going to ride on the handlebars? You got a damn bike. I said, Lord. He's a walking read, and she's just ignorant. That's a read. So they're on their way to the hospital. They told her, they just took Karen on off to the hospital. They're on the way to the hospital. So let's go over to Andi's house with her stupid self. Her and Gary, he comes in. They get to talking, and she's saying, this is crazy. He basically wants her, because this was some of that Tyler Perry stuff, long drawn out saying. I said, I ain't even here for it. I ain't here for it. I ain't playing this game with you, Tyler. He wants her to basically quit her job and basically be dependent on him, and he take care of her like the woman that he has now that he's cheating on. And she's like, no, I'm not really wanting to do all that. And he says, well, how do I fix this? He's like, the only thing I can do is I can go back to her. She said she's going to sue my firm and have me disbarred. He's like, well, how do I fix it? He said, the only thing I can do is I can go back to her and live in that hell, but then I won't be able to see you anymore. And she's like, okay. And that bastard turned around and did the Jedi mind trick on her and told her, you're so cold. And then flipped the shit on her like she done did him wrong and now he the victim. Now we understand that the family life is all messed up. We understand all that. And that you haven't been totally lying about everything. We understand all that. But dude, you're the one that was married. You're the one that cheated. And now you're trying to flip it like her and your wife are these nasty, cold women and you're some victim. If you don't get your ass somewhere and sat down. I said, no, he didn't. And then he even had the nerve to storm out on her. I said, Andi, girl, I don't know where you come from. I just don't. Because I'd have been punched him in his face. I just, the nerve of him, and it ain't nice to, it's not nice. I'm not advocating for violence amongst people in relationships, but Gary needs punched in his face, just so that we're clear. He needs cold cocked in his jaw at least one or two good times, period. Anyway, moving on. Don't judge me. Zach and Danny get down there. Well, they're on their way there in the car. First of all, she ain't got her tags and stuff. She driving all slow because her tags and stuff. She's like, I'm riding dirty. I said, everything. Danny just ghetto about everything. And he already on probation. She gonna tell, well, what's the big deal? You will be going back again anyway. I said, rude, rude. But he has this whole thing. He done got an attitude because Pam said something about the woman came in and said something about her husband, and Karen seeing her husband. That's all he heard, and he's pissed. He's pissed. He don't know exactly what dude it is or any of that, but he's just mad at the fact that there is another man involved. I said, are you kidding? And you got a whole woman pregnant? And Danny's like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Anyway, they get over there to the hospital. They get into the room. He literally leads right in. Karen's sitting there. She looking all distraught and everything. She says she's okay. He like, all right. But I'm like, why would she be saying that? Why would she be saying something about you messing with her husband? Like, where's all that coming from? And Danny was like, I know good and well you are not trying to ask her these questions. Now, it didn't take long before she picked up on it. She was like, are you asking me this now? I didn't mess with him. Everything, it wasn't like that. This kind of thing. It was a mess. Then Danny was getting ready to jump on him. So he told Danny, well, why don't you go find the doctor so we can, since they said that she okay. She's just waiting on the doctor so they can release her and we can go. She's going out there trying to find her. She out in the hallway. By this time, Sabrina that ended up over at Andi's house, and they over there sitting, and they finally end up getting a call about what happened, and they're on their way. In the midst of all that, Danny's out there looking for the damn doctor and ends up arguing with the nurse out there whose name is Beatrice. And they going back and forth. She said, I called for the doctor. He'll be here when he gets here. She will say, oh, listen here, I'm Beatrice. I said, And she said a couple times, said, you really trying me, Beatrice? I said, oh. In the midst of her going back and forth, and she's getting like real mad. She's like ready to yank her. And Angie and Sabrina come in, and they get her. She gonna say, "You should be glad, Beatrice, because y'all good, because y'all just saved her life. Because I was getting ready to get her. I was like, oh my god, funny. Danny generally gets on my nerves, but this episode, Danny was dropping some zingers, and she was funny. Her comedic timing and the things that were written for her in this episode were funny, and this is like one of the most serious episodes that they've had, beyond the broad blowing her head off, but it was funny. Anyway, so they're like, okay, we're out of here, and I said, you need your sister circle, so we're going to the sister circle. It was like, you go on wherever you going, and then we gonna go ahead and go. And she needs the sister circle. He's gonna say, that sounds like a cult. What are y'all talking about? Danny gonna turn around and say, a cult? Really? He said, yeah, what is the sister circle? She said, it's us, stupid. I was like, what? Just ridiculous. So she's telling him, go on. So they're going on down the hall, and next thing you know, they get to like where the people were gathered, and like the little family, little waiting area. Aaron is sitting in there, and Karen sees him. She goes in, and they're like hugging, they embrace. So the girls are sitting out there like, okay, because they don't know exactly how far or not far that they've actually gone or any of that stuff. And they're hugging, and Danny's like, y'all, Zach's right behind me. Like, Zach is on his way down the hall. Zach is right behind me. And honey, Zach get there, baby. Zach ready to fight. He is ready to fight, and especially once he figured out who Aaron was. He's like, that's that dude that she tried to embarrass me about, oh no. He's like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go. You said I was going to go back to jail. I'm getting ready to go back right now. And he got the sweating, and his acting was totally on point. He got the sweating and carrying on. I said, you better do it. You bets to do it. He was mad. I've seen that happen before. Listen. Never mind. I ain't telling the story right now. That's a story for story time one day. But yeah, honey, my ex, honey. You talking about when Ninja get mad to the point where they real mad to the point they get to sweating all over. Mad as hell. He was hot as fish grease. You hear me? And they were like, listen, I know. And Danny that spilled a bit, she will say, man, you got a whole baby on the way. Just shut up. And the other two was like, what? A baby on the way? Oh, if you don't get your ass out of here. They told him, go. They said, Danny, give him your car. She gonna say, oh, no, he ain't get my car. No, we ain't doing that. He gonna say, look, I'll just go get on the subway or whatever. I'll catch the subway. And they were like, yeah, go ahead on. So then they kind of like start getting into it. And they were like, I don't want to hear it. He's like, but that dude, and look at her hugging him. Look at you. Said, we don't care. Mister, I got a baby on the way. We don't want to hear the shit. Get out of here. He gonna tell them, y'all all could just go to hell. Go to hell. And Andi was like, yeah, you too. Punk, get on out of here. It was crazy. It was funny as hell. Good scene. It was a good scene. Zach, very well played. Oh, he was hot. So that was good. So he walk off, right? Danny gonna say, shit, that hug is lasted a long time. What is going on? She'll say, well, he ain't married. And I can hug him for real now. If she don't want him and stuff, I can hug him. They was like, bitch, don't you start. Don't you start. Danny actually made this episode for me. She's stupid. So they go in, they are breaking the embrace, and he's saying, thank you so much for being here for me. She's like, no, baby. She said, please, no offense. I didn't come here for you. Literally, she did this in my salon. I wasn't here for you. And then he starts to embrace her again, like, I'm so sorry, baby. And right at that moment, this older white woman and this younger white woman walked through the door. I said, oh, shit. The mother-in-law and the sister-in-law, baby. That mother-in-law rolled through there, baby, and she took and slapped the dog shit out of Aaron and told him, this is your fault. What type of man of God are you to be laying around with a whore when you're married? Honey, and that Karen was like, whoa, wait a minute. No. She said, her blood is on your hands and yours, whore. I said, oh my. So it was getting real heated, and the girls were escorting each other out. As they're going out, Danny gonna stop. I said, I told you it's the Danny episode. Danny gonna turn around and say to the lady, do you talk to Jesus with that nasty mouth? I said, and then looked at the woman and gonna say, it's the power of Christ that compels you. I said, you didn't hit her with the exorcist, did you? It's the power of Christ that compels you. That damn Danny is a whole clown. You hear me? A whole clown. And then gonna tell the whole sister-in-law, girl, nice sweater, honey. I said, you know, what? It was a whole mess. She rolled and they roll on out of there. Ciao. So listen, the last thing we got to deal with is over at Sabrina's house. Because now Sabrina and Karen and them, they done went to Karen's house. She done forgot. Here, Maurice, Javier, and Calvin then all met at the door. at Sabrina's house. But she has an extra key out there. Maurice knows where to get the key. He didn't let them in. So they get in and they get ready to start this cooking. And Javier, I don't know how much of it Maurice really told Javier, but Javier done spilled the beans, okay? Javier's like, oh, okay, I mean, yeah, what's up? So, this, that, and the other. We're gonna say, so you the one that's interested in doing the threesome? You kind of cute. This, that, thing, and the other. I said, always old chatty queen, Annie. Child. He's like, what? So they're like, okay, oh God. So Maurice was like, listen, she still has questions. So we were just trying to see if trying to ease her mind. He gonna say, what? Now he acted stupid again, like he don't know what's going on. That pissed me off. Then he flipped the script and said, you know what? Pour some wine. Let's do this. And they're going to say Christmas came early, fellas. And he going to go over there and touch Maurice's face. Honey, Maurice. And I said, see, I'm going to get pissed off again, Tyler, because at that point, you done made all the gays look very nasty. Like they all nasty and don't nobody got no morals. Now, Maurice is like besties with Sabrina. And when old boy went to touch Maurice's face, he damn near dropped to his knees and gave him 50. And I ain't talking about push-ups. I was like, Tyler, you're going to make me curse you out. But okay, whatever. So they ended up sending Sabrina a text. And they all in the picture like, hey. She's like, oh, shoot, I forgot. I got to go, child. And Daddy gonna say, girl, wait a minute, honey. Girl, they don't look like they missing you much. I said, you know what? She ain't shit. She was flying home, honey. She get home, baby, you hearing, yes. I said, wait a minute. She listening in the wall, and then she opens up the door. She gonna say, what the hell? And it went off. I said, oh, here we go with another damn cliffhanger. But I got to see how this is going to turn out. I got a feeling that Tyler's going to make me mad with his depiction of what gay friends are like. Because all gay friends ain't like that. You painting us out to be real raunchy. And I ain't no fan of that, Tyler. But anyway, we going to see. I'm going to hold back. I'll cuss you out later. Yep, I'll cuss you out later. Ain't no problem. I'll wait.